Hey out there, slot car land. How's everybody doing this week? Sorry about the lateness of the video. Wasn't feeling too good over the weekend. Could hardly talk on Saturday. Could barely talk yesterday. As you can hear, I still have a little bit of something going on today. But at least I can talk, so we're going to do this today. What we're going to do first is we're going to do some detail work on the Bugatti and finish this paint job. We're going to paint some taillights and a grill. Possibly the grill, definitely the taillights. And then we're going to set it aside, let that dry. Take a look at some parts that came in. And we'll start talking about Fray cars and some of the things you have to look at first off before you even start building these cars. So there's a couple of things you're going to want to check on your chassis when you get them in. And what you need to be looking at to take care of that. So we'll do that in a minute. First off, we're going to do the taillights on our Bugatti here. And something we used on the diecast side, and you guys can use them on this side too for doing like taillights and small detail work and stuff. These are called dotting tools. They're basically for doing fingernails. My wife got some of these and I got to looking at them and I'm like, you know what? That'd be a good thing for painting. For like doing headlights and taillights and whatnot. So they come in several different sizes, as you can see. They're sized on that end, and then they're sized on that end. So all you got to do is find the size you need for whatever you're detailing. And these are pretty good sized taillights, so let's take a look at that right there. That might be close. That one's probably too big. No, I'm probably going to have to use that one. That is pretty damn close right there. The other side's almost even better. Okay, so let's bring the camera down here so you guys can see what I'm doing here. Get our red paint that I've already got shook up out. And let's grab a paper towel real quick. So, hope this finds everybody well. Hope you guys are doing better than I am right now. Not quite sure what I'm dealing with. We know it's not strep, so that's a good thing. Got to get over this before we go to the fray. So, basically take your dotting tool. Just barely dip it in your paint. You can use a towel to kind of dab if you need to. And then just take it. Line it up with what you got. There you go. And you got your brake lights. Get a little off of there. I gotta screw that one up just a little bit. One side looks better than the other, but I think that'll do. We're not going for perfect realism here. But that's how you use your dotting tool, and it works out really good. I used them on a couple of die-cast cars. Oh, excuse me for a sec. Gonna bear with me here a little bit. Still dealing with some phlegm and stuff. So that looks really cool. Let's put that on there. So that's just a standard red Testors red. The other one I got for the grill is an aluminum, flat aluminum color by Testors. Let's see here. I got a bunch of new paint brushes over here. They screwed that up when they put that lid on there. See if we can get this nice and neat here. So a lot of things are building up. Fray's getting closer. We're still missing one order that I ordered from Dynamic Armatures that we still haven't got yet, and I'm getting a little worried about that order. I'm gonna have to text them, send them another email, and see what's going on. See what's going on with that box. But the other two are here. I'll put in the description where the parts are coming from, what websites I'm getting parts from, and whatnot, so you guys know, so you guys can go there and check the stuff out, see what they got, see if it's okay for you guys. Man. There we go. That's not too bad. Looks better from a distance. So we'll let that dry. And we'll take a look at some stuff we got here while that stuff's drying before we put the orange on that car. So, like I was saying, I ordered from 3 different websites. I've ordered from RTHO, I ordered from MRT, and I ordered from Dynamic Armatures. What we got coming from Dynamic Armatures is 2 balanced armatures, 10 tungsten axles, and then I also ordered some new, 2 more sets? Yeah, 2 more sets of BSRT rear tires, which I don't necessarily need, but we ordered anyways just so we have them. I've already got 4 sets. Those will do well. So, but hopefully that stuff will show before the fray. But, so this first one came from Rick Terry, which is RTHO. This is probably the majority of the order. I spent over $400 between all 3 orders. One of them you don't necessarily have to order, but I'll show you guys that, and we'll take a look at it when we open that one up. But this is from RTHO. What we have here are 2 complete T-Jet chassis. So we got 2 more T-Jet chassis. These are the little pins that hold your top and bottom gears on the back of your motor plate. These are also tungsten, so they're non-magnetic. Then we've got the team race at the Fray. The car has to run on slip-on silicone rear tires on hubs, so I've got 3 sets of those, 3 hubs, 3 sets of hubs, 3 sets of tires. And as you can see, these are real low-profile tires. I'm going to be ordering some more of these because I've got an idea for our fairgrounds cars with these, and I'll show you guys what that is when we get around to it. We've got, let's see here, 6 sets. 1, 2, oh, okay, that's why it looked weird. 6 sets of new front ends with the little weight sets on them. So we got those. 4, let's see, I think there's 5 sets of Slot Tech motor brushes here. We got some new rear gears. Now these are not stock rear gears, and I'll show you the difference between these and a set of stock ones. down the road when we're starting to put some stuff together. I'll show you the difference between those. And then we've got 2 full sets of top gears, and then the 2 of your lower gears. And these are all stock gear ratio teeth, so which are, let's see, does it list it on here? No. It's a 9-tooth rear gear, so they're stock for that. and they're stock top gears, so they're not anything different than stock, but they are a matched polished set of gears. This one is from MRT Products. This is what they refer to as a super stock chassis. As you can see, it's got this here. Came with the chassis, and this is a complete chassis, wheels and tires. You just gotta set it up to whatever your rules package is. As you can see, it's got small tires on it. Let's see what this thing does right out of the box here. Let's get the camera down here. It's already got a guide pin on there, already super glued on there. Woo! Woo! Come back here. Got it in the wrong hole. And as you can see, right out of the box, you're already at 118, up to 118 to 120, right out of the box with this car. Got a little bit of hop to it. We'll do some tuning things to this. Get her set up. Get her set up with the way we need it set up for the Fray. And as you can see, it's probably still got a little breaking in to do as well. So we'll show you guys that. But that is pretty cool right out of the package. So, and like I said, the other one is from Dynamic Armatures, which we haven't got yet, and we're still waiting on, but that'll be one thing. Alright, so let's take a look at, move my orange up there. Let's take a look at what you guys have to do. So say you take your, your stock chassis. What you want to do first is take this chassis completely apart. Get it down to bone stock, nothing on it, pick up shoes, all that 9. Just get rid of it, set it aside, and this is your starting point right here. Most of the guys at the Fray, this is where they're starting at. They're just going out and buying tons of blank chassis and just starting from ground up and building cars up that way, rather than buying a complete chassis. You can do it either or, but, this is the way they're starting it. So, but the first thing you want to check is, you want to take a couple of axle stock. You want them long enough that they're going to fit on your tech block so your chassis doesn't fall down into the tech block. And you want to take and put through your wheel holes here and set it down on the tech block, and make sure that you don't have an axle standing up off of your gear plate or your tech block. You want to this is a way to make sure your chassis is perfectly flat. And you can do this with any chassis that you have an axle and tire on. So any of your Magna Traction cars, any of your non-mags, your T-Jets, all of those, you can do this. This is a trick you can do to make sure your chassis is flat. That's your first step. You want to make sure, you don't want to build a car unless you know the chassis is flat. Because if it's not flat, there's no use, and no amount of parts or cost is going to make that car run decent if the chassis is not flat. Next thing you want to check is you want to take a gear plate, and preferably the one that you are going to use with that chassis. And like I said, they're building from the ground up. So what they're doing is they're doing what we have here No motor, no rear gear, no nothing. They're taking the axle once again, and they're putting them through here, through the motor hole and through the back hole, and they want to make sure that you don't have any binding issues back here. Now my tech block isn't tall enough, but most tech blocks are, and you can do the same trick going this direction that you did with the chassis going the other way, to make sure everything is completely flat, all the holes are lining up, and everything's working fine. So that's some of the things you want to check first off before you even start your build. Is check your chassis, make sure your chassis is flat, and if you're building a complete ground up, balanced arm, gear, matched gears, the whole nine like we got sitting right here, you want to check this as well to make sure that your chassis is going to be perfectly in tune and isn't gonna bind or flex or any of that. So those are kind of the first steps when you start getting parts in that you want to check to make sure that that chassis is going to be ready to go to start building. If it doesn't pass these tests, keep buying blank chassis and keep working until you find the right ones. Now they do make a jig that you can buy, and I'm not sure where to get it. I'm going to have to do that research for you guys, to where you can fix a tweaked chassis. I've seen it on Facebook. I'm not sure where they got it from. I haven't been able to find it listed anywhere, so I'm not entirely sure how that's going to work. But they do make a chassis that can fix it. But it's just better to start out with one that's perfectly flat, perfectly set up, perfectly the way to go. Or you can go out and buy a super stock chassis. These are $50 from RTHO, and set them up to the Fray specifications. Change the rear tires. As you can see, this has a stock rear gear in it. We've got the other ones that we'll show you in the next episode that we do. We'll show you guys that. But we're going to be making some changes to this, and we'll see what it does after we make the changes to it. So let's do the orange on our project body here, and we'll get this thing all nice and done. Where'd that one go I was using? Hopefully we can do this without screwing it up. That still seems a little runny. The orange I'm using is a international orange. It's pretty close to the same orange that you use in the Gulf color paint schemes. That's almost the same orange as you use, because we're going to be putting some Jägermeister decals on this car, so this is also very close to that Jägermeister yellow or orange. So let's see what we can come up with here. I want to use this fine brush to get right up against. It's probably going to take a couple of coats to get it done. So you guys know. We'll do one side here, and then I'll let it sit for a little while. I haven't been able to find this international orange in a spray can, so that's why I'm hand painting this part. there we go. Let that sit, we'll let that dry. I'll paint the other side and we'll put some more coats on there. Make it look really good. Mess around with it a little more here. So, there we go. Hope you guys liked the first installment of our Fray episodes. We'll be continuing these down the road here. I'm not sure. Next week we're probably going to do another one. I'm not sure if we're going to do a bi-weekly feature car next week. We may can concentrate on doing the Fray stuff from now to the Fray. We've got 2.5 weeks before the Fray, and we need to get these cars ready to go and rock and roll. So, hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Sorry about the wait, but that's what we got going on right now. We'll come back next Saturday with another episode, and we'll look at doing. We're probably going to look at this car right here, and the MRT car, and we'll show you what I'm going to do to it with some of the parts we've got. And we'll show you what kind of difference that makes, even on a already tuned chassis, what it's going to do. So I hope you guys are doing fine. Keep hitting that like button. Keep sharing. Keep subscribing. Keep up the comments. Let us know what you guys want to see. And keep the wheels on the downside, and we will catch you guys next week. See you later. Bye.